On the front row, A.J. Allmendinger with Austin Cendrick, and A.J. officially the pole sitter, so he gets the outside lane to start. He goes up high to begin this race. His throwback to when he got his only Cup win, 2014. It happened at Watkins Glen. Gorgeous afternoon for racing. Here we go with the Xfinity Series from Darlington.
Pretty clean start there. We're looking better than last night so far on the inside.
That is true. Long way to go, though. Let's not jump the gun, but definitely a clean start.
Noah Gragson on the move. And as you look at our pylon highlighted in red, those 4 drivers going for the dash for cash. Whoever finishes best out of that bunch takes home a bonus $100,000. This the Leaf Home Solutions onboard camera. Justin Haley third behind Austin Cendrick.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well, there's
what was about that clean start, Eric?
I think that's that cantankerous moment that Eddie was talking about on the bottom. And you see that a lot at Darlington, right? Especially here on the starts when you're not wanting to get everything up and you're trying to run side by side down there, which we're going to see again.
Great battle for the lead.
Yeah, this is Cendrick looking to the inside of Allmendinger. Can't make it work. I've got to believe the sense of urgency is up. One, because the tires are good. You want to get all you can out of them early in the run. The other thing is, we know we got that competition caution coming in just over 15 laps, so you want to go get it in that regard as well. And here's Cendrick again to the inside.
What I love about Cendrick, he's aggressive. He's been aggressive ever since he's come into the sport, and it shows, and that's why he's one of the top guys in the Xfinity Series. But really tough pass to make here on the bottom. See if AJ gives it to him, which he does. Smart racing. AJ's been around for a while. Those two guys are putting on quite a show early.
That takes me back to the end of stage 1 at Daytona on the road course when they didn't work quite as well together. Here they're able to work it out. Cendrick takes the lead. Allmendinger to second. Haley right there in third.
Well, Adam, like you mentioned, I think it's kind of an interesting situation right now. We've got such a short time to the comp yellow that I don't know that you're truly. Oh.
And trouble. That's the 26 of Brandon Godovic. J.J. Yaley also involved. Yaley running the throwback Matt Kenseth scheme. A record 12 cautions in the Camping World Truck Series last night, and we hope to keep it cleaner than that. And now we know there will be at least 4 cautions. We got the competition caution, the stage ends, and one early on. Let's see what happened here. Yaley in the 17 down on the inside.
Oh, looks like we just kind of run out of real estate. Got really impatient there. I don't know. I can't place the blame, but I mean, man, that's just tough, especially coming off 2 there. Things tighten up really quick. Looks like the car in the middle, the 07 there, got a really good run and kind of stuck his nose in there 3 wide. I think it's a little early for that. Obviously, could have avoided that. That was definitely unavoidable.
Yeah, I don't know why the 07 stuck in there. That's a pretty tight spot.
That's Joe Graff Jr. He's got that Back to the Future paint scheme. He'd like to be on a time machine right now and rewind and not have to live through that. With Bubba in the booth, let's do a little history of the 23 car. And I know, Bubba, you knew all of this. Debuted in 1949 with Blatt behind the wheel. First win Monday in 1951. You love the notable drivers, though, because that's your throwback this weekend, huh?
That's right. I'm excited about that Wendell Scott throwback, having everybody from the Wendell Scott family and the foundation be a part of our team. Going to be an awesome weekend starting tomorrow.
Early caution cleaned up, and we're going green once again. Cendrick says, give me that outside lane. Interesting, Allmendinger, who was second, also took the outside lane when it comes to the choose rule. Haley trapped down low. Noah Gragson making some hay in the 9.
Yeah, it can be tough to hold your ground on the inside there through 1 and 2. If you're stuck kind of side by side there on the exit, you really have to be careful with the guy on your right side and not make a mistake, especially in the daytime.
It's so inviting, you know. There's so much real estate that is showing as you enter into turn 1, and really at both ends of this racetrack, it's so inviting to stick your nose down there. But knowing that the price you'll pay on exit both ends really changes your mindset really quick.
On board with Jeb Burton, most recent winner, as Jamie talked about earlier, running that throwback scheme to his father Ward, who's here today.
Hey, you know, I would keep an eye on Jeb today. He's in the 10 car, and if I remember right, last year, the 10 car was pretty fast here. Ross had a great shot to win, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him up front here at some point.
And he's got the momentum, right? Last race, last win. I mean,
coming off
big
Talladega.
winner. Yeah, that's awesome for him. So pump for him and his family.
His teammate is 4th right now, Justin Haley. Jamie?
Yeah, so far the car's pretty good. Started off a little free, but it's funny with all these paint schemes out here. He's scratching his head a little bit. This is his radio communication with his spotter, Kevin Hamlin.
I'm going to ask you a lot today, who's who, with all these different paint schemes. Just be ready for that.
All right. I'll make sure to ask Alex on, too, because I don't know either.
I didn't look at the J-Ski review paint scheme, so a little out of loop.
I think that's an age thing. I think he's too young to really understand the paint schemes here.
Now, wait a minute. Do you think he just wants to know educationally what the throwback is, or he's just trying to figure out who's in what car so he knows how to race them? I got to believe that's it, right?
I'm going to go with the second option there.
Good.
There's a lot of bumps and bangs here, so you're going to find out. You're going to want to know who ran into you or who you ran into. So
now,
definitely smart on his play.
Now, there's some Hall of Famers right there. Darrell Waltrip, Tony Stewart, Dale Jarrett, huh?
That's right.
I mean, that one car from Michael Annette, the Gatorade throwback to DW,
Super
looks
cool.
Awesome.
It does. Well played.
And they were putting on a show, 3 wide into 1.
Ooh, we got the 2 car there. Looks like he already got some damage on the right front. Gonna have to fix that up here.
20 cars,
Boys are going
Harrison
at it
Burley. And you know who's been on the move early? Jeremy Clements had worked his way up to 6th. He slid back to 8th on the restart as we go on board with Justin Allgaier. The Food Lion feeds on board camera, and we get a caution here. And this is at lap 13, and we're starting to work our way toward what would be the competition caution. And this is Brandon Godovic again, and boy, that's a tough way to start the day for them.
Yeah, as we were just told, Kyle Petty has an issue.
You know, it seems like those issues compound, right? You start your day out like that, then you're kind of on to the next bad thing, and it never seems to get much better.
Looks like he had a left front go. That's tough.
Great view from our Snap Mobile onboard camera. 13 laps in at Darlington. Austin Cendrick leading Allmendinger, Gragson, Henrik, and Haley. Enter Clint's Fox Bet Super 6 Stage 2 contest for your chance to win $10,000 of Clint Boyer's money. Just download the app and pick 6 race outcomes about Stage 2 for tomorrow. For your chance to win, it's free to play. Don't miss out and play now while there's still time. So before we went to break, we had Michael Annett racing in the 1, and he's got the throwback for DW in the Gatorade paint scheme. And there's Daryl's car from 1979. I mean, the aerodynamic setup is a bit different, but overall the paint scheme looks really good.
Michael should have borrowed that helmet. Wore that.
That's the same helmet I rode this morning down on the motorcycle.
It looks about like that.
Hey, what do you guys want for help here when it comes deciding high or low on the restart? Who all weighs in on that decision?
I think everybody does it a little bit different. We count off one lane, just a number in that lane, and so you kind of know where you're running, right? You're running 10th. There's 5 cars on the bottom. That means it's even. And then you can kind of decide from there. I think most kind of do it like that.
Yeah, and then you like as the race plays out, you start to see like, okay, how did they restart before? Who you're racing around? What are you racing for at the same time? So there's a lot of factors that go into it, but definitely on the same strategy, just counting one lane to make the pick easier for you.
All of our Dash for Cash guys doing a good job so far. You look in the pylon, they're highlighted in red, going for an extra $100,000 today. Noah Gragson third, and he's undefeated this year when it comes to winning the cash. 2 races with money on the line. He's won it both times, and he takes the inside on the restart, going next to Austin Cendrick. And keep in mind here, we're only going to race a handful of laps before we get that competition caution.
Pretty strong start from the 9. I think he's got a shot here. Well, there he goes. He's going to clear him.
Talk about money. Gragson rises to the occasion.
And it's tough, right? It's getting harder and harder on every restart to get going. Make sure you're prepping your tires good, and not getting that wheel spin is a big challenge here.
Well, Eric, what you can also do is take notes of how these heat cycles react. You know, that's the 3rd heat cycle now, 2nd heat cycle, however you want to look at it. And what is it going to do for maybe a strategy later in the race?
I did not have in my list of things to talk about in the first 20 laps Bubba Wallace on heat cycles. I did not have that down. Really good job getting us there.
How about that?
On board with Riley Herbst.
You know, it's always fun for me to watch truck and Xfinity races here at Darlington, because in the Cup race tomorrow, you'll see a lot of give and take at this point in the race, and guys kind of handing positions on entry and exits to the corners, especially in 1 and 2. But these guys, they really don't seem to care too much. They run side by side on entry and exit, and they're going hard from the start, so it's fun to watch.
Hey, you know someone we haven't popped early on, 4th place right now, Daniel Henrik. And we discussed him and the opportunities to be a first-time winner. Got that Red Farmer throwback. And what's cool about that is Red's grandson, Charlie Brock, is actually a mechanic on the car. Just in front of him, race for the lead. Up high, Gragson, down low, Cendrick, and the 22 can't make it stick. How about that race leader, Jamie?
Yeah, Noah Gragson, so obviously his comfort zone is usually running the top like he is right now, but Dave Ellens, his crew chief, told me they really wanted to work on that car better on the low side of this racetrack, trying to give him everything that he needs to get to victory lane. He's never had that full comfort zone here at Darlington so far. Just saying his car is a little tight off 4 on the entry. It's hard to get it to turn when he's on throttle.
That reminds me exactly what he said last year in Miami when he ran the wall, was so successful. He said, we've got to find a way to run the bottom. Darlington, tires wear out, much like Miami. You got to run the wall. Speaks to why Gragson is so good here. And we're on board with Allgaier, who's trying to take a spot away from Jeb Burton. This is the battle for 6th. And there's the yellow flag, competition caution. It's our 3rd yellow of the day. To pit or not to pit? We'll find out what they do when we come back. Noah Gragson out front. Cendrick, Allmendinger, Henrik, and Harrison Burton. Your top 5.
is looking to try to win the Dash for Cash for the 3rd race in a row. Cendrick and A.J. Allgaier to pick up the top spot. Right now, Henrik cruising out front in that fast first-shot Chevrolet Camaro. So we've had a race of cautions so far in this race. Jeremy Clements throwing back to George Jones' 2006 UPS Ford Fusion. Really cool with the way that they did the paint scheme on that car. A couple of other cars outside of the top 10 decided to come down with fuel and tires. And we'll have to see. This could be possibly a strategy car because that stage 1 will conclude on lap 45, which is only a handful of laps from now. Of course, we know we will have that caution car. So, making the pit stops now, they have the opportunity to stay out. However, you know how racing these Goodyear tires, or how this racetrack is on Goodyear tires, one way the last lap run, it's more so a question of your tires function before fuel run as opposed to fuel time. So, we'll have to see if these drivers will make it that long or they will drop their best tires for the last stop. About 22 of them are very racing this year.
Eric Jones in the booth with us today for the NASCAR Xfinity Series race. So here's a little history of the 43 car. I say when you look at the 43, you just looked at the man on the screen, Richard Petty, right? I mean, he's unbelievable. But notable drivers, look who made the reel, Bubba Wallace.
Right.
Eric, you should have thrown back to Bubba for this weekend, I believe.
All the way back to last year.
I do love your scheme, though, with John Andretti. That's awesome.
For sure.
It is. It's a great looking scheme with STP on there. Pretty iconic colors. A lot like the 47's looking like this weekend.
Yeah, Kyle Weatherman throwing it back to the old STP colors as well. Love A.J. Allmendinger's scheme. He looked good early, leading laps from the pole. He's third right now. And we'll do the choose this time around. Updating strategy. We had a few guys come down pit road. The highest of those in the running order was Jeremy Clements. I thought they might take on tires and try to run through the field and win the stage, get some stage points with those fresh Goodyears. They just made a chassis adjustment. A few guys did take on tires, and we'll keep you posted of their progress once we return to the green flag. And here's the throwback, Eric.
There it is, and the first next-gen winner. That would be me.
That's right.
That's from the other night. I just realized that.
Yeah, that was a pretty exciting one.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it does. They did a really nice job with it. We got Bradley, our designer, does a pretty nice job.
Austin Cendrick is second right now, Regan.
Well, Adam, it's never too early to start maybe playing mind games with your competition. Take a listen to what we picked up on Austin Cendrick's radio, noting what Noah Gragson was doing in front of him.
The 9 car said he needs some rear grip. He also said that he was trying to bait you in so that you would burn your stuff up. Yeah, copy. I caught onto that. It's a bit of a risk on his part. Luckily, it's lap 20, and I don't run over people on lap 20. Copy that.
I'm going to hold him to that if he runs over somebody here.
He was racing with you guys last weekend, Cendrick was.
He was. He's done a good job in his Cup debuts and his Cup races that he's done so far. So, like I said, aggressive from the beginning, and he brought that to the Cup levels already, which you have to do. I mean, I remember my first Cup race. I was like, I think I'm pretty aggressive. The stats show it from the Truck Series and Xfinity Series, and got to the Cup level, and I was like, oh, Another level here. All right.
Cendrick goes inside of Noah Gragson for the restart. Stage 1 ends at lap 45, so we'll have about 20 laps until we get there. And as we return to the green flag, we're going to listen in to the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger, who stayed in the top 5 all day long.
I think this will be a real telltale run right here of who's going to be strong for, honestly, the rest of the day. So it should be interesting to see.
Green, rolling.
Interesting that the 9 takes the top, right? Won the last restart on the bottom. Now moves back up to the top.
Yeah, and looks like he's about to give it up here.
And he does.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, that was interesting.
Clear behind the 20 if you need it. 18 bottom lane now. 18 bottom lane, halfback. Still there with the 20. Clear the 20. Clear by 2 to the 20. Good run right here.
I always love going to hearing the spotters chat here.
7 ran
just to show you how busy we are inside the car, what our mental mindset is doing as we're trying to take in all the information, where to position our cars. Super cool.
And it's always hard to really show how much trust you have to have in that spotter. We really can't see much inside these cars, and what they're saying and what you're hearing right there to the 16 car is what we're doing.
You know who my spotter is? Freddie Kraft? Yeah.
I've met him a couple of times.
Yeah, it's hard to trust
the trust in that guy. You're more trustworthy than me.
Allgaier in the outside lane sliding back. That was Myatt Snyder jumping by on the inside. Myatt won earlier this year at Miami, so he knows all about success when it comes to these worn-out racetracks.
Yeah, and it's interesting here, you know, like Bubba mentioned a minute ago, this is now the 4th heat cycle on these tires. So your car's going to change a lot, and there's definitely going to be guys who are going to struggle more here than some others.
Top 10 now for Ty Gibbs. Regan talked about him prior to going green today. 3 starts this year, every one of them resulting in a top 5, including that win on the road course at Daytona. You talk about talent, it just screams for this 18-year-old.
Yeah, Ty's doing an awesome job already. I mean, obviously he's shown his talents, and being around him, I get to work out with him at the Toyota facility there in Huntersville, and just seeing what his attitude is, his character is. He's a happy-go-lucky kid, but he's serious at the same time. So excited to see that pay off for him and his family, and obviously he's trying to do everything he can to live up to the names and the shoes he's got to fill, so it's cool.
I think his crew chief has a win here, doesn't he, Eric?
He does. Me and Chris, we won here a couple years ago in the Southern 500, so Chris definitely knows how to get one of these things around here.
Well, I mean, he's driving for the right team. Joe Gibbs Racing has been incredible here, and I say that as a transition to those guys racing for 4th and 5th. Harrison Burton in the 20, Daniel Henrik in the 18. Haven't said a lot about Brandon Jones today, but he won the last time we came here to Darlington.
We had 2 thrillers here last year for the Xfinity Series races. Those were awesome. So hopefully that shapes out to be just like today.
Well, and I think it lends its hand to this place in the day, this package that they got on the car. I think it's just recipe for excitement, right?
Absolutely.
These cars aren't easy to drive. They don't have much downforce. They got a good amount of power. And this place in the day, I can't think of a slicker oval that we go to other than here.
Yep, absolutely.
Said we hadn't talked about Brandon Jones. There he is in the 19, and somewhere Todd Bodine is smiling. That's a throwback to his Truck Series championship in 2006. Right now he finds himself in the 15th position. We're winding down the opening stage with 15 to go. We've got a side-by-side break from Darlington. Austin Cendrick is leading. He's been out front for 18 circuits so far today. you come to Darlington, part of the equation is, in fact, the Darlington stripe. And you might be able to get away with it more so in the Xfinity Series. These are composite bodies. Brandon Brown with a kiss. And if Noah Gragson doesn't hit the wall, he's not driving hard, right?
Yeah, exactly. When I was told the 9 already hit it, I wasn't surprised. But those were nice. Those were well executed. No damage, nothing to worry about there. But it is Darlington. We'll see a lot more of that as we go.
Well, turns 3 and 4 are so enticing, right? Especially here in the daytime, you can get up there, and you know there's speed up there. No matter where you run on the track, you want to get up top against that wall and start getting comfortable, run a little harder, a little more speed, and then all of a sudden you're running into it.
That's right.
Saw A.J. Allmendinger fall back to 5th there, and he told me yesterday, this track is always changing. It's hard to find a rhythm because just when you think you got it, the track changes, the tires wear out, and now you got to adjust, and it appears maybe that's what's happening here as he slides back, and teammates going at it right there, the 10 and 11.
Well, you know, that's what I love about Darlington. It never is consistent. You know, there is no rhythm necessarily to get into. You're just constantly attacking the situation at hand, and I think that's fun as a race car driver.
Yeah, for sure. I'm taking everything you know about this place. You run pretty good here. I'm still trying to figure my way out, so just keep on talking. I'm just writing down a mental checklist here.
Eric, we mentioned the win. You've never finished outside the top 10 here in a Cup car. That's remarkable. Jamie, what do you have on Daniel Henrik?
Daniel Henrik, really nice run in stage 1. He's running 4th right now. Talked to his team this morning, and their approach was, hey, our teammate won this race last year, and it was so good. Brandon Jones' setup was awesome, so they put it on this 18 car. Now, you talked about winning crew chiefs. How about that guy on the right-hand side? Dave Rogers holds the record for 3 consecutive wins, 2 with Denny Hamlin, 1 with Tony Stewart back in the mid-2000s. So he knows how to get around this place with a good setup, Regan.
Well, Jamie, A.J. Allmendinger, before he got in the car, told me this is not one of my favorite racetracks for whatever reason. I can't find a rhythm around here. Talked to a number of different drivers this week, trying to figure out what to do. Right now, that race car, we see him sliding back just a little bit. Came on the radio, said the car will not turn right now. I'm too tight, can't get through the corners.
He's never been here in an Xfinity car. 11 Cup starts at Darlington for A.J. Allmendinger. And hey, we were giving some love to Eric about his Southern 500 win. Regan won the Southern 500 10 years ago. In fact, 10 years ago today would have been the day he was celebrating. So I'm sure he's in a much better state today than he was May 8th, 2011. And look at this driver on the move. Tommy Joe Martins made the pit stop at lap 22, competition caution, got 4 tires. He is looking at a potential top 5 finish in this stage.
That's big for them, and this is the moment where you feel like a hero, especially here at Darlington, putting on new tires, getting those fresh stickers, and going out and just making up all the track position that you can, all the track time, doing everything you can to maximize the opportunity that you're given right now. So doing an awesome job by the 44 there team.
And the paint scheme is awesome, a throwback to Rich Bickle.
Rich Bickle, he's on his victory tour this year, and he actually just won a race up in Madison, Wisconsin last week, I believe, the Joe Shear Classic.
You just throw him up, and Eric hits him out of the park. He's done his homework.
Oof. Getting a little aggressive there. And what people don't realize is it's when you get to the exit of turns 3 and 4, it looks like, okay, we're on to the straightaway here, but it actually, your balance changes that last second. It gets a little bit tight, and if you have enough wheel into it, it'll snap free on you. And when you're underneath somebody, that just compounds the injury there. So you got to be really mindful of where your hands are at, where your throttle position is at, and where your car's at on the racetrack as Tommy Joe pulls off another pass there.
Hey, giving credit where credit is due. This team, single car operation, limited employees, top 20 in 4 of the last 5 races. They were 11th at Talladega. They have proven they can get the job done, finishing better maybe than where they should when you look at their budget, and doing an outstanding job today playing strategy and inside the top 5. Martins is 5th. Here's the battle up front. We're coming to 1 to go in the stage. Cendrick in front of Gragson.
Gregson's really turned up the pressure here the last couple laps. You thought Cendrick was pulling away and looked like a smooth sail, but it's never really over here. So there they go into 1.
That's tight down in there. You saw Noah give up the entry there. He's not going to stick it down in there with that much speed at this point in the race. I know he wants that stage win, but he's got to preserve his car too.
Noah a couple years ago would have kept it.
Yeah, definitely.
Austin Cendrick already a couple of wins this year. That's Matt Mills in the 5 going for a spin. And the caution is out. That will end the stage. And winning stage number 1, Austin Cendrick. Here he comes off of turn 4 and back to the green and white checkered flag. It's his 5th stage win of the season and the 12th track where he has now been able to record a stage victory. Playoff points, they are plentiful for the reigning champion. Cendrick wins it, Gragson second. You got Harrison Burton up there, Henrik, and how about this? Tommy Joe Martins, top 5 in stage 1. Stage 1 complete for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Darlington. The winner, Austin Cendrick. Our coverage presented by Blue Emu. We anticipate pit stops in a moment. First, Unilever's United for America program is proud to partner with Food Lion Feeds this summer to help make a difference in local communities. In partnership with Unilever, Food Lion Associates will be out in your community helping to make a difference through volunteering locally and impacting hunger relief. Join Unilever and Food Lion this summer to help make a difference and work to fight hunger by volunteering at your local food bank or food pantry. Mentioned Tommy Joe Martins came down, lap 22, got tires. The rest of the leaders seeing pit road for the first time today, and they love those fresh Goodyears at Darlington, Regan.
Well, one of the biggest goals for the 22 car, Adam, was to get those early stage points and a stage win. Mission accomplished. That race car right now just a little too loose when he overloads the right rear. A small adjustment for that. They're going to stop him short because of car coming in ahead of him late in this pit stop right here. And the 20 car, Harrison Burton, his race car a little bit too snug. Doesn't want to be too loose, though. He'd rather drive it a little tight. Jamie?
Noah Gragson in the 9 said he needs the rear to be in the track a little bit better. That'll help with tire wear, air pressure adjustment, track bar, and 4 tires for the 9. Meanwhile, Justin Allgaier, his teammate in as well, 4 tires and air pressure for him.
Ooh, nearly got into Tommy Joe Martins at the exit, did Justin Allgaier. And it's interesting to look at the right rear on all of these cars and then look at Noah Gregson's. Most of them clean. Gregson a little skinned up as you watch the race off pit road.
That was tight for the 7 and the 44 there. Made it work, though.
Yeah, it looked like the 22 might have actually got hung up there behind the 61 coming down pit road. He's got that first pit stall, but didn't quite have a clean exit.
And really good work for Daniel Henrik in the 18. He uses Denny Hamlin's pit crew, and I do believe, yes, he won the battle off pit road. Let's hear from our Stage 1 winner, Eric.
Hey, Austin Cendrick, this is Eric Jones up in the Fox booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Oh, we're just kicking it up here, snacking, eating some food. But you're looking good out there, man. The car looks like it's pretty strong and been running good up front. Looks like you lost a bit there at the end of that stage. What do you need to have your car be a little bit better here?
Yeah, you probably know this place better than I do, but definitely starting to free up here and trying to get this car shot Ford Mustang in victory lane. So looks like we got some competition and should be a lot of fun. Still got a lot more work to do now.
All right, man. Well, your car looks great. Throwing back to your Phoenix win here just a couple months ago, so that's looking sharp up there. Go ahead and get that thing back to the front, man. Good luck.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, man.
Free pass into Stage 1 goes to Jade Buford. He's now 1 lap down, and we did have a speeding penalty. Ty Gibbs nabbed in the 54. We reset and go green when we come back.
When we talk about Ty Gibbs making his way through the field, he started in the 29th position and made his way to the top 10. However, two fast and Pete Road, he would have to go up to the rear. Basically, do all over again. Driving for Joe Gibbs Racing in the Interstate Battery Store, the Super Over Robot, LGR's 1993. Well, Dan, we're getting ready to go here and get the restart in a matter of moments to begin stage number 2. What are your observations on this racetrack? You know, one of the things Austin Cendrick is the fact that he was able to do a power move in turn 2 and keep it at the wall. So obviously his car is quality and his crew can work hard to keep it in front. So I think he's going to be one of the matches. Not only that, the number 9 machine, that Chevrolet of Will Brock's been pretty strong. And I'm going to tell you, that number 42 that's been up front, my God, we won that stage, he's been pretty strong. Another quick note on the last one on the pit stop. You just saw him on the big series a moment ago. Riley Burton penalized for having equipment removed from the pit box. That Ford Mustang, of course, being thrown back to Tony Stewart's 1999 Home Depot Pontiac. Really super cool paint scheme. It's one of those paint schemes that you look at and all right, yeah, exercise the whole season looking at it on the race. So a very cool deal.
It's been a fun afternoon for the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Darlington. And we're going back to 1950 when it all began. We've mixed in a few modern numbers here, including the 23 in the 43. And I can't help but notice the 23's in front of the 43 here.
I'm not complaining. So we got black and white filter. This is sick.
Well, they put the 23 in front of me on there. They talked about the 23 before the 43. So
hey, you got to just get with the times, my man. Adam, did you say you were in the 65 in the back?
I was in the 65 in that photo. Yes. Yeah. I could go 100 laps on tires and fuel, but my miles per hour are like half of what you guys are doing.
Why didn't somebody win the Southern 500 by not pitting? They never put tires on.
Well, I know Ned Jarrett won it by like 15 laps one year, so there you go.
Maybe it was him.
Yeah, it's impressive.
All right, here we go for our second stage. Mentioned Daniel Henrik able to win the race off pit road, so he goes in that outside lane, trying to become our 5th different first-time winner in 2021. Strong early. We'll see what he does with the track position. And, you know, Gragson goes inside, and we've seen him get the top spot from that front row, both starting on the inside and the outside lane. We'll watch the 9. Snyder looks good, and Cendrick, who won that opening stage, is going to restart back behind them.
Henrik, make me look good here, buddy. Come on.
Well, I think you got to approach this stage completely different, right? You don't have a scheduled caution coming up. Got 40 laps. Going to have to save a little bit.
That's right. We got a car stopped here right before the restart zone on the bottom. Okay, gotcha.
Understand he's waiting for the field, and once they clear, he'll pull into line and get going. Stage 2 underway. By the way, Riley Herbst, we found out during the commercial break, penalized for moving equipment, so he too has lost a ton of track position.
Strong run on the bottom for the 9 here of Gragson. Thought the top would prevail for Henrik, but man, it's tough. Ooh, squeezes him a little bit there on the bottom. Try to get a good run up off top here, get him clear down the front stretch.
Yeah, I think he was expecting that bottom to have a little more grip there on your tires, which, you know, it seems to usually have some grip, but I don't think it was there.
How lucky is he that he goes down low there, tries to make the move, can't get the lead, and he's able to slide up in line. I feel like sometimes you get hung out and you can lose 4 or 5 spots by being down low.
Yeah, you have to also, you know, that's where the spotter comes in. It's like, hey, if you want to give up this position here, you can fall back in line. Or it's like, hey, I need you to be aggressive because there's a freight train on the outside. So it's just kind of situational awareness and knowing where you're at.
On board with Allgaier, surprisingly quiet today. Got a great paint scheme, though. Throwing it back to 2000, the Intimidator. Dale Earnhardt, that was the Taz paint scheme that was so famous. Everybody loved it. You see him here in front of Jeb Burton. And making a move on the 20 of Harrison Burton. That puts the Cousins nose to tail.
Well, you know, I saw Justin seemed to get a little bit better at the end of that last stage there on the long run, and maybe made some adjustments here to kind of balance that out, get some speed on the front side here, and be able to keep some of that track position.
Allmendinger appears to have helped his car. Regan reported that he's not totally comfortable here. He had slid back at the end of stage 1, but 3rd right now, looks solid in the 16 for Colleague Racing.
And you see Allgaier still on that charge. It looks like he's got that bottom rolling really well. And if you can get your car working down there, it seems like your days are going to be pretty good here. You always got that top as a backup. You can always go up there no matter what, but if you get that bottom rolling, you're going to be in shape.
These are the 2 penalty cars. 54 is Ty Gibbs, the 98 Riley Herbst, trying to make their way back through the field. Right now scored outside the top 20.
I'll tell you what I've noticed here is Henrik has really stretched out his lead. And I noticed there right before the end of the first stage, his times, him and the 20 of Harrison Burton were putting some pretty good laps together, faster than the leaders. I know those guys were racing, but there's got some speed in those Toyotas, which is good to see. See if he can, you know, hopefully doesn't burn his stuff up here and have something to hang on to in the long run here, but looks really good so far.
You know, the other thing I noticed is Henrik checks out. This is the first time he's been in the lead. He's got that clean air. And back behind him, Cendrick doesn't have the clean air, and in traffic, his car maybe not working as well as Allmendinger tries to get second away from Gragson.
Yeah, that 22 is strong, though. You see him get by him, get by the guy in the 2 car, I believe. Yep, Mike Snyder there, starting to make his trek back forward. So never count out the 22.
Jeb Burton here trying to make a move, and that's a good move there. You can get kind of the inside of somebody in 1 and 2 and maybe force the hand on the exit there to where a guy has to be in a lane he doesn't want to be in. There's some pretty bad bumps off of 2 that you can get your car over and get it pretty upset to where they kind of have to come out of the throttle. So just got to keep the pressure on here sometimes and, you know, kind of force the guy into a mistake.
You know, we were talking about how good the 10 was here last year with Ross Chastain. Nearly won this thing in the fall after leading over 40 laps. You would expect Jeb to be good To be fair, though, limited experience. Never been here in an Xfinity car. Only one start, and it came in a Cup car. So he's learning as he goes, I'm sure. And here's Allgaier working over Snyder, trying to get back up to 6th.
It doesn't matter. I come to realize that it doesn't matter how many starts or how many laps you have here. A win, in Eric's case, you're always learning as you come back to this track each and every time. Each and every lap on the racetrack, you learn something different. That's one of the fun and tricky things about Darlington.
They call it the track too tough to tame, and it's living up to its reputation today. Daniel Henrik, your race leader. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series on FS1. It's a 90s look for our Xfinity Series coverage from Darlington. We're throwing it back to the 90s because both Eric and Bubba born in the 90s. Here's the profile on EJ, and I just go right to the photo, and then I hear the music in the background. You guys ever do the
Gotta get the camera on him right now. He's doing it right now.
Is he doing it?
Doing it.
I mean, if you went to a wedding like in the late 90s when I got married, I mean, you had to do it, right?
I had to do the Macarena.
You give us a little, Eric? Come on.
I don't know the Macarena.
What is it? This way, this way, this way, this way, that way?
I think that is the Macarena.
Now, see, I graduated high school in 91. I should know that 90s stuff. You guys were born in the 90s. We shouldn't expect you to know and understand what was popular then. Is this a Darlington stripe or a Darlington stripe on steroids? That was a little long
That's
there.
just hitting the wall.
Yeah, that's getting a little bit too much of it.
And it left a mark. That was the 47 of Kyle Weatherman. Tommy Joe Martins, after that great finish in the opening stage, has been into the wall.
He's got a tire down.
And here's another look. So was the tire down to force him into the wall, or did he cut the tire once he hit the wall? Our stripe count now at 12.
That's so hard to tell. I mean, you obviously wish, you know, if you did get in the wall, you want to blame it on something because you don't want to be like, sorry guys, I got the fence here, cut a tire down. But such an unfortunate break for the 44 team after we were just talking about him. So you know what? For the rest of the day, I'm done talking about numbers, except for the 18. He's doing pretty good. I feel like I jinx everybody I talk about.
I don't want you to talk about Ty Gibbs because he got a penalty, and here he is working once again toward the top 10. This is after he started 29th to begin the day and worked his way to a top 10 running position. He has been impressive. And, you know, to begin the second stage, so is Justin Allgaier, Jamie.
Yeah, he's having a solid run. Remember last year, both races, he led a bunch of laps, finished third in this race. They told me coming in, their focus was the exit of turn 2. It's where they could gain a lot of time. But this one's for Eric and Bubba, guys. He said he can't turn down the hill. What does that mean exactly? What does that feel like coming off of turn 2?
Well, you know, you look at turns 1 and 2 and you see it from here, and it doesn't really look like it has any elevation change, but you truly drive up the hill into 1 after you land down in there, and then you have to turn and drive back down the hill to get out of the corner. And when you're up on the wall, you run that right here, that low entry, and you come in, you're driving back up the hill right here against the wall, and at this point you're trying to turn your car back down for the exit. And when you can't get that point in your car and get it straight for the back straightaway, it can make for a pretty tough day.
Look at those tires for Tommy Joe Martins. He comes off pit road right in front of Allgaier, but because he's got the tires, just starts pulling away.
Oh, and he's a man on a mission right now. He's frustrated at whether it was a tire that got him down or just himself getting into the fence. So he's going to be driving like a madman here. Hopefully he keeps it out of the fence for the rest of the day. But, man, listen to that throttle. Listen to the throttle that Allgaier's got right now coming back down the hill.
Yeah, and you see how dark that line is through 1 and 2 now, where all that rubber's laid down, where everybody's trying to run the same lane. And you can even see it here in 3 and 4 right up against the wall. That rubber gets kind of built up on top of itself, especially the longer the run goes here, and it gets really, really slick and really challenging to drive. And that's when your car handling comes into play and when you start working that throttle more and more.
Hey, Martins, by the way, is 2 laps down. He could drive up on those fresh tires, get his lap back, at least one of those laps back, and maybe put himself in position for the free pass later on. Now our Ford Performance track facts. They have won 3 of the last 4 races, and you see it's a combination here at Darlington of Stewart-Haas and Team Penske. In fact, when Brad won here in 2018, he swept the weekend, and of course a season ago, and Bubba, you talked about this, a thrilling finish when Chase Briscoe was able to beat Kyle Busch. An emotional day for him, one of 9 wins for that 98 last year. And here's our Monster Energy on board. Riley Herbst driving the 98 today.
Just trying to feed throttle to clear that car, and it's so tough when you're trapped there on the bottom.
He must be tight, Bubba.
Yeah, just a little bit. That thing's trying to get some rotation on the throttle. He's definitely tight. Definitely tight. And, well, also you look at where he's at. He's behind traffic, doesn't have the cleanest of air right now. That's not helping his scenario there. He's got a lot of wheel in it. Just trying to get that thing to do anything to react on throttle.
Herbst trying to come back from a penalty. He is 19th. 15 laps to go in stage 2. The top 5, Henrik, Gregson, Allmendinger, Cendrick, and Brandon Jones. I love a little flashback, and we looked at Eric earlier, and I see this picture for Bubba, and I just say, oh, I mean, how cute is that? And the best part of 1993, Bubba, the top song, Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You. And since Eric wouldn't do the Macarena, what do you think? You give us a little bit? A little Whitney?
That's all I got. That's all I got.
Yeah, maybe we should get back to the racing here.
Yes.
10 to go on the stage. Henrik still leading by over 3 seconds. Cendrick, who won the opening stage, is 5th, almost 7 seconds back. Allmendinger hanging in, though.
Well, you know, we've been talking about the lap times up here, Bubba and I, and Daniel Henrik right now is just putting together some really incredible laps. A couple of tenths faster than the rest of the competition, and even more so than that on guys further back. So pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was actually worried. I was like, oh, I hope he didn't burn his stuff up here. And because you've seen him kind of drop behind second, third, fourth place lap times, and then 3 or 4 laps later, he picked it back up. So, man, that car is stout right now.
Here's something to talk about. All 4 junior motorsports cars inside the top 10, including 2 you see here. Justin Allgaier, the 8 of Josh Berry, and we have a spin. And that's going to be Jesse Little in the 78. It will produce caution number 5, with 8 coming around to see 7 to go on the stage. Immediately, I think, perhaps an opportunity for strategy. Before we talk about pitting or not pitting, here's why we got the yellow flag.
Saw that donut on the door, and
yeah.
Just a tough spot there, and you know, the 98 kind of went down in there with him, and they were both trying to carry a lot of speed, and it wasn't going to work.
On board with Riley Herbst.
So tough to do. No side force there.
Daniel Henrik is leading this thing. Do you make a pit stop here or stay out for the end of the stage?
just a few days ago, running by a hefty paint scheme, been on the racetrack.
5 to go on the stage. We did have some drivers come down pit road, mainly those guys from Junior Motorsports. So you pit here. You don't have enough time to make up any ground really before the end of the stage. These guys just going to ride around, I would believe, and play the track position game, and we'll see how all that plays out. Tomorrow on FS1, the best anglers in the world tackle freshwater's hardest fighter. It's the Bassmaster Elite Series live from Neely Henry Lake. It's tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on FS1 in the Fox Sports app. So let's go back to those guys that pitted. You guys agree with me. You can't get through the field, get any stage points, so you pit here, and you're going to stay out at the end of the stage, and just to conserve those tires, you just ride around as slow as you can. Is that the thought here?
Well, I think so. I don't see how they could get back far enough in the field in just these couple laps to get any stage points, so that I would imagine they're going to ride pretty slow.
Yeah, we pulled a strategy like this last year with old Jerry Baxter. We had pitted with a couple laps left, and so we rode, and we stayed out, and actually worked out, I thought, pretty well for us, if my memory is correct. But it's just, man, it's so hard to do because you just want to go race. Oh, we got a
now look at
18th
this,
pitting.
and what is up there, Jamie? This is shocking. Daniel Henrik giving up the race lead.
Yes, they just realized it looked like the left rear tire was low. They told him to come down now, and they will change that. Big turn of events here. They were working a little strategy to stay out as they bring it in. The team just ran over to the wall to get ready to change these tires. We'll take a look at it. Remember in the truck race last night, we had some drivers who were picking up debris, and they had slow leaks with those tires, and it sounds like this is something very similar. So they'll go to the left side for Daniel Henrik, who today has already led 38 laps. Good change of events here.
Well, it is. You take away the opportunity to win a stage, and that's significant. However, the way things cycle through, with the caution coming in a few more laps with the stage to end, it should all work out okay. But there you see the tire.
Well, you know, with no practice, no qualifying, nobody on the track all weekend, there's bound to be debris, and especially with all the trucks that crashed last night, there's got to be things left behind on the racetrack, and not really surprised to see somebody have a puncture.
Free pass here goes to Joe Graff Jr., and he has scored in the 30th position. So just a few laps to go in the stage. We'll have 30 cars on the lead lap. Talking about Tommy Joe Martins earlier, who had to make that unscheduled pit stop. He is still shown 2 laps down. The first driver in that category back in the 33rd position. 3 laps to go. Stage number 2 in the front row going to be Allmendinger, who takes the outside lane. And to his left, Brandon Jones, who won here in September. This is going to be a fun shootout to see who gets a playoff point.
A tough restart here. These guys are on old tires. They're hot and slick. Not easy to get going.
Definitely cleaner than last night on old tires.
You know, that inside lane has worked pretty good today. Brandon Jones slides right up in front of Allmendinger, and maybe contact. Jones goes around. Ty Gibbs trying to avoid him. Everybody stays clean.
Wow, I think the 19 got some help there. I don't know if AJ appreciated the slide job into one and kind of repaid the favor, but man, wow, that was close. Could have been very big. That reminded me of almost that iRacing wreck that I was caught up in, and you made it through somehow.
3 wide off of 4. Are you serious?
You know, it's crazy. The 7 car and the guys who pit, they're up here trying to race. I saw even the 9 going 3 wide there on the start, so these guys aren't laying back. They're still going for stage points.
And they have worked their way into the top 10. Less than 2 laps to go, a lap and a half remaining. Stage 2, Allmendinger leading Cendrick. Look at Noah Gragson. He's on fresh tires, and he is going to work his way well up into the top 5. A lap to go, and here he is racing Harrison Burton for position.
And you know, I just don't know if that's going to work out how they want. You know, Noah's not going to be able to go up here and get this stage win. It looks like he might get to second. But now he's going to be 3 or 4 laps behind on his tires of some of these guys. So don't know if that's exactly what they were hoping.
I like the strategy. Hopefully he's good with the strategy the 18 is playing right now. Just quarter throttle. I was looking for Daniel. I thought he was wrecked and in the fence, but.
And here's Harrison Burton making a move on Allmendinger, new leader as we come back to the green-white checker flag. First stage win of the season for Harrison. That was incredible.
Yeah, Harrison closed a big gap there. AJ had some cushion, so that was pretty impressive.
Burton wins it. Gregson gets back to second, but he's down on tires. And we go back and see what happened on the restart when Allmendinger and Jones were racing together.
I thought the move for the 19 was okay.
Yeah, I think AJ may have just been trying to time that and stay right tight to him there on the exit and get him a little free, and just kind of got a little over.
Look at that run off of 2 for the 20 here.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to AJ? I felt like he had it in the bag, and out of nowhere, here comes Harrison Burton.
Well, Harrison did have fresh tires, I believe.
That's true.
And looks like he just had enough time to get up there.
Harrison Burton able to rally back, get the stage win. Rest of the top 5, Gregson, Allmendinger, Berry, and Sieg. Thrilling finish to our second stage here at Darlington for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. We're live on FS1 and the coverage presented by Blue Emu. Harrison Burton taking on tires, rallies for the stage win. And now pit stops. Regan Smith.
Well, Adam, as you see the 16 car by AJ Allmendinger peel off right there. Not quite what he wanted at the end of that run. He came on the radio and said, well, dang, I really wanted to get that stage win. That race car right now just a little bit too free, getting into the corner and getting freer as the run goes, wants to keep the nose turning. And the one of Michael Annett, his race car is tight, but he doesn't want to change it too much and get it too loose. Jamie.
7 and Justin Allgaier in. He thought he could get some more stage points there than they did. They decided to come and get tires. The 10 and Jeff Burton said the car's pretty good. He felt like they were in the ball game right there. Just needs a little more rear grip. They'll get that with fresh tires. Wipe that grill. Good stop for the 10.
See the race off pit road. Whoa. It goes to AJ Allmendinger as things get a little out of balance on the pit lane. And a number of drivers did stay out, among them Burton, Gregson, Josh Berry. These are all drivers that came down and pitted right there prior to the end of the stage. So their tire's going to be a little older, but they do have 2 sets remaining here in this final stage. Bubba?
Oh, Harry B. It's Bubba Wallace up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
That was impressive there. You had a little moving roadblock that you had to get around and pull off that move. That was nice job there on the stage win. What's your mindset for the rest of this race here? You got 54 laps right now as we're talking. Car looks pretty good. I like it.
Yeah, I think we've got a really good Toyota Supra under us here. It's been fast, man. It's just, as you know, it's hard to pass here. So this track position here is key to hold for us, and everyone behind me back there wants it too. So going to get after it and try and keep them in the dirty air and my nose in the clean air.
Well, Tim Ford, do you like your chances better for this race or a match of me and Henrik in 50s?
I know that I'm not as gifted in basketball as I am as a race car driver, and that's why I'm in this seat, so I'll take the race all day.
I love it. Good luck, brother. Have fun.
Thanks, buddy.
We said it, first stage win of the year for Harrison Burton. He and the rest of the top 10 stay out. Allmendinger going to restart 12th when we return.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to, first off, my mother, Christy. You've been an incredible rock for me growing up. Happy Mother's Day to you. I love you. And then to my beautiful wife, Kenzie, extremely proud of you for being the mother that you've become. And Ren, happy birthday, baby girl. It's incredible to think that 12 months have already went by. You've been absolutely the single greatest blessing to both your mom and I. So happy birthday. We love you.
Puts it all in perspective, doesn't it? Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers who will celebrate tomorrow. And we hope you'll be a part of our fun coverage from here, Throwback Weekend at Darlington live on FS1. NASCAR announced yesterday the race Back to the Track digital sweepstakes and is open to fans who are vaccinated or pledged to make a vaccine appointment through May 31st. Fans can visit NASCAR.com/vax and enter to win tickets to the 2022 Daytona 500 on February 20th at Daytona International Speedway. To register for a vaccine appointment, please visit vaccines.gov or text your zip code to 438-829. Ready for the final stage for these Xfinity Series teams here at Darlington. Harrison Burton wins stage number 2. He stays out. Gregson is up there. So is Josh Berry. Got to give a call to the 8 car who's done a great job battling today. And is up in the top 5. And you saw Daniel Henrik there on track. He had that tire issue. They made their pit stop just before the end of the stage. He stays out as well, and he'll restart just outside the top 10. Lot going on here when it comes to strategy and being out of balance on tires. And now NASCAR has said we're going to go one more before putting the green flag out.
Man, how frustrating is that, Bubba, when they add a lap? You're coming to the zone.
You're getting focused in. Oh, it's the
you're
worst.
Spinning your tires. You're just wooding it, getting ready.
Yeah.
Getting that thing ready, and then you got to go another one. I just can't handle it. Yeah, well, we do have a minute here in an extra lap. I do want to mention that I'm actually starting up my own foundation. It's in pretty early stages here, and we're just really getting going. But May is Melanoma Month, and it's a pretty near and dear cause to my heart. It's affected my family and a lot of families, but specifically with my father. So been an important cause to me over the last few years, and starting up, like I said, my own foundation here and getting going. And melanoma and cancer research is definitely going to be one of the pillars of things we support.
That's awesome. Congrats on the foundation stuff. I know I've been working on mine, and it's been a lot of work, but a lot of really cool things that come out of it, so congrats.
Absolutely. Yeah, congrats to both of you, doing so much to give back, and we appreciate you being up here today and sharing some time with us. And Bubba, tell us about what you have going on.
Yeah, hey, the Live to Be Different Foundation there, started up a few years ago. I, too, feel like sometimes we're still in the early stages of it, but really excited with the things and the directions that we're going with right now. And hey, we had another lap, so I can talk about this a little longer, which is good. We also just finalized our winner for the Bubba Wild Scholarship Foundation, or Bubba Wild Scholarship Program that we have inside the foundation itself, my alma mater at Northwest Cabarrus High School. So that is actually next week, so excited about that. Congrats to the winner. We will not announce that yet, but looking to do a lot of good things and big things here with the future to come.
A lot of stars coming from Northwest Cabarrus High School, Bubba.
Myself, old Super Shoe, Corey Seeger, Bradley Pinion, got a lot of us out here. Got some guys on pit road that are that have went to Northwest. So Northwest, heck yeah.
And an update on the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Please tell me something has not gone wrong again for them, Regan.
Well, it's trying to right now, Adam. As you see, the car spitting just a little bit of water right now there. It's gotten too hot under this caution as they keep adding these laps. It's tough to get the air through these radiators. They've been coaching Ty up basically to shut the car off, try and let the water cool as much as he can while they don't have speed right here. So this is a team that wants it to go back green ASAP.
First ever start at Darlington. Goes off 29th, drives to the top 10, gets a penalty, drives back to the top 10, and now fighting his race car again, currently scored 15th and certainly not out of the game.
Yeah, and look, also this is one of the hotter days. Obviously, we're getting into the summer months right now, so he'll go back, and obviously hopefully it doesn't do anything to the damage, anything to the Toyota motors there, but he'll go back and, you know, have to listen of how to do better on keeping the motor cool.
You News had a great day. Josh Berry scored third. We'll listen to him on the restart. Won at Martinsville, and I love that paint scheme. Throwing it back to his boss, Dale Jr., when he won at Daytona summertime 2001. The car looks outstanding. It's been stout today. The final stage, ready to go green at the track too tough to tame.
At the mark, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Still inside.
That bottom groove winning out again. Kind of interesting to see.
Door. Clear, clear, clear. All good. Nice and steady.
You look at those top 7 or 8, and back behind him coming fast, A.J. Allmendinger just pitted at the end of the stage. Tires aren't a lot fresher, but just enough that he's going to try and make up some ground early in the run.
I think AJ would have liked to seen that caution be a little bit shorter. You know, that long caution kind of helped everybody that did stay out there and got their tires cooled down and equalized again. So it's going to be not as much as an advantage as he was hoping, but it still will be worth something.
Gregson, Burton going at it. They have a history. Just under a year ago at Kentucky, they had a disagreement in the garage. And 2 kids you got to believe that are going to be around for a long time and trying to end winless streaks. Harrison hasn't won since the end of last year. For Noah, it's been almost a full year when he won at Bristol last summer.
Well, you know, that tussle was a while ago now, but I can guarantee you neither one of them forgot about it.
Never will either,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
And you hear already, what, we've run 2-3 laps here, and the 11's already got a lot of pedaling going on there in 3 and 4.
Yep.
He's one of those drivers that pitted at the end of the stage, came at lap 93, just like Allmendinger, who's trying to get around Snyder.
That's a tough pass right there, especially getting things tight off of 2 there. Drive it down into 3 and hopefully clear the 2 for him. Should be no problem as he does that now.
And the best 2 right now on the fresh tires, Allmendinger and Ty Gibbs. 54's up to 8th.
Yeah, Ty's been doing a good job today. His first time here. He hasn't had any practice, just kind of being nice and steady. Had a penalty there. I think we got a note. How many cars did he pass already, Bubba? That was
this was earlier. I got 44 cars earlier, so
he's got to be above that now.
Oh, for sure.
Talk about potential first-time winners. Had 4 of them this year. Another possibility today. You saw him there in the 68 Brandon Brown, but losing a spot to the veteran Allgaier. So give me a sense here for Allmendinger and Gibbs and the guys who have the fresher tires. How long do they have an advantage before the lap times fall off and everything levels out?
Well, I think it's like Eric said, that the longer cautions kind of helped, as we got a heck of a move here. Oh no.
74 Bailey Curry.
That was a nice save.
Cantankerous.
Yeah, I mean, the throwback to Bobby Allison. Bobby would have been proud of that save, huh?
Oh, the 2. Oh, that was nothing for the 2. He just got up there, found his limits. We think we found his limits. But back to what you had asked there, Adam, about the tire situation. Obviously, you see things kind of equaling out here as you got a move by the 54 on AJ down the back into 3 here. But that caution, like Eric mentioned, had equalized things, and so it doesn't give you that much of an advantage. So you're trying to do things harder and push the car more to get things going, but it just seems like everything's equal right now.
This is a Joe Gibbs flashback, is it not? I mean, you're on board with Riley Herbst, who's throwing it back to Tony Stewart's car his rookie year when he was driving for the coach, and inside of him, the Interstate Batteries machine, piloted by Dale Jarrett and eventually Bobby Labonte, a couple of Hall of Famers, both driving for the coach.
And these guys are racing hard. There's a lot of racing left here to do, and these guys are really going at it and really using their stuff hard. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get this settled out and figure out where they all need to be.
This is 5th back through 8th, and those 3 racing like they were, Gibbs, Herbst, and Allmendinger. And there might have been some contact there. Nice little save by Herbst.
Well, I think Ty was getting frustrated there. Riley was really running him pretty hard and kind of running him all over a little bit. And I think Ty was ready to go.
But Allmendinger is right there now. So is Allgaier's back in the picture.
Yeah, you see now Riley had that big slide, and that's just enough to heat your tires up, and he's going to be struggling for a couple of laps.
Was there contact or not?
I see a little crinkle there. I think, I don't know, that left rear looks a little bit crinkled up. Just barely. Maybe just the decal is just ripped. No.
Look at that.
Look at that.
At least 6 inches in between the bumpers there.
But I'll tell you, the amount of air that he was packing on that left rear was a significant amount.
It feels like they're hitting you.
Yes. That's immediately when you come over the radio, did he just hit me? And then you're so let down because it's like, oh, he didn't, so I can't go hit him back.
What's up, Jamie?
Talk about pressure for Riley Herbst. He knew this 98 team was so good here. They won the first race, should have won maybe the second race as well. They were dominant. Riley told me this is not one of his favorite racetracks. You guys talked about what just happened. He came on the radio and just said, I cannot get the front end to turn on this race car.
Hey, but I will say this, they had a lot of speed early in the year, Jamie, did Riley Herbst in that 98. Didn't get the finishes they deserved, but lately they have. Top 10 in 3 of the last 4. Look pretty solid here today. Currently scored in the 8th position, and now our Xfinity fastest laps of the day. So far, Austin Cendrick, the best of the bunch. No surprise, Allmendinger is up there. Henrik led a bunch of laps today. He's on the board. So is Noah Gragson, Justin Haley in there as well. 37 laps to go. This is a tough track. They say race the track, not your competitors. Some might disagree with that.
Jeff Gordon's, Rainbow Warriors car, that's like the one that really sticks out to me right off the bat.
I was a huge fan, actually, of the Kevin Harvick GM Goodwrench car, the black and silver one. That was one that I really liked.
I remember as a kid, I believe it was an all gold Dale Earnhardt Bass Pro Shops car.
Jeff Gordon's Nicorette scheme. I loved that green and yellow with the flames. I thought that was pretty cool. I was a huge fan GameStop cars, just because they had a different video game on the hood every time.
No surprise that Henrik went with Earnhardt because he's from Kannapolis. And here's a look at your throwback, Bubba. Looks awesome.
That's right. It does look good. Looks good on our Toyota Camry there. I'm excited about that. Wendell Scott colors. Root Insurance, they've stepped up in a big way this year. Excited to have them on board for another race this year and hopefully to do good things here at the old Lady in Black.
Now, I don't really want to put any pressure on you, but you kind of threw it back in the Camping World Truck Series and won at Martinsville,
that
right?
was a good day right there. Look at that jacket right there. But yes, definitely a good day at Martinsville.
That's nice looking. And a special thanks to all the men and women at Fox who make our coverage possible. Long day, long night yesterday with the Camping World Truck Series. Back at it today. 400 miles tomorrow. Our coverage begins with race day on FS1, 2 o'clock Eastern time.
And the 98's really falling back here. He's lost a couple spots here. Let's see what happens.
I feel like I'm the jinx now, Bubba. It was you. I was singing his praises up in the top 10, and here he goes sliding in the wrong direction.
You know what happens here? You're getting down to where we got 29 to go. You talk about how you come into this racetrack with all the confidence, knowing that it's maybe not your best racetrack. So you try to prepare yourself for every outcome possible. Then you get into the race and you find yourself where the car's not reacting like you want it to. That's where the frustration starts to build up, especially late here in the race. Cars are starting to pass you. You're trying to calm it down, and then it's like, well, okay, I gave up a little bit this last corner. Let me try to make up for it on the next one. And you see the mistakes happen. Getting there in the wall, lose a couple spots. The best thing here is take a deep breath. You still got 28 laps to go. I don't know if Larry Mack has his statistics here to show if another caution is going to fall, but I'm sure that it will give you a chance to reset and go fight towards the end.
Well, I'll tell you this, when it comes to the trends, 11 of the last 17 races here have had a final green flag stretch of less than 10 laps. That's an indicator we will get a late caution. We'll see if it plays out here today. Jamie?
Just want to update our leader, Noah Gregson. Coming into today, his crew chief Dave Ellens had 2 things on his mind. First, keep our driver focused. Race the racetrack, not your competition. You guys mentioned it earlier. He did a really good job when he was battling with Harrison to focus on the track, not lose sight of where he was. The other part of that is maintaining track position. Finish this race where we started. He has not won a race yet today as he continues to lead, Regan.
Well, Jamie, another Junior Motorsports driver doing a great job today. Josh Berry, we see him losing the 3rd position right now to Ty Gibbs as he's working through turns 1 and 2 there. Big compliments from him and his crew chief about how he gives feedback. Said basically that Josh is precise, he's concise. When he says it's loose, it means that the car is loose. Otherwise, he says nothing on the radio. Right now, Josh has not been saying anything on the radio. I think he's pretty happy with that race car.
And only his 2nd start here, right? And the other start for Barry came a number of years ago. So limited experience, learning on the flies. He's done so many times this year and executing quite well. And problems for Brandon Brown. We saw the side of the car, and here's how he got into the wall.
The wall, once you get into it hard enough, it just sucks you in. It's like a magnet, and you can't get off of it.
Yeah, you know, we talk about these composite bodies are tough, but he was legit. He was on the wall there for so long, it probably just rubbed through the sidewall.
Yeah.
So he pits with 24 laps remaining. And as we close on the end, and you see it, the stripe count now at 21. You see, though, highlighted in red, our Dash for Cash drivers, and only 2 of them in the top 10, and 1 of them is leading, Noah Gregson. Keep this in mind. This is our 3rd Dash for Cash race of the year. He's won the first 2. Could it be a win and a bonus for engine number 9? Under caution for the 7th time today here at Darlington, courtesy of 52 of Greg Gaulding.
I don't really know what was going on there.
He was Joe Graff Jr. in the 07. Now keep in mind, the last time we were with you, or a couple of races ago, at Martinsville, these 2 had a disagreement.
That's right.
I would say he wrecked him on purpose.
I'm not trying to stir it up. I'm not trying to stir it up.
That looked intentional to me.
And now Riley Herbst, listen in.
Yeah.
That'll get your attention.
Yeah, no doubt.
Coming to you.
So I had that question on the break. If he was complaining about his car being tight, not being able to rotate, Was he having, you know, tire going down, or was that just from the fence? And I think by the looks of the right side, I'm going to say that was because of the fence.
We were in the midst of, you know, right around our longest green flag run of the day. And so we know tires are wearing out, and I'm sure mentally and physically the driver's starting to get beat up as well. And so here we are with a caution. And everybody should have 2 sets of tires remaining, with the exception of Allgaier, who pitted twice in that cycle toward the end of stage 2. And our 7th caution does deliver the free pass to Tommy Joe Martins, who now will put himself back on the lead lap. He's 29th.
He's got a lot of work to do from there, but
day is done for Greg Alding. He was sitting in it for a while with the window net open, hoping maybe he could get it rolling. He could not, so he will retire early. Scored in 38th right now.
Gray's going with a throwback helmet there, Krispy Kreme. I remember that helmet when we used to run together in legend cars and stuff. It's a throwback helmet there.
Look at Brandon Godovic. Kyle Petty throwback, had those early problems. Driving for Sam Hunt. By the way, next week at Dover, John Hunter Nemechek going to be driving the 26. Everybody pitting with 20 remaining. Here they are, Regan.
Well, Adam, Ty Gibbs came over the radio. Wasn't sure if they had any tires left. Nonetheless, he was pretty excited when they said, we've still got 2 sets left right now. Ty, go ahead and pit. They're going to leave the car alone. He's happy with the race car, very fast as he was gaining on the leaders there. The 20 car, Harrison Burton, that race car, 2 free at both ends of the racetracks. Wants to be tightened up just a little bit with the rear. Jamie?
Noah Gragson in the 9 has led the most laps today, 40, so the car drives better than it did before. A little snug, but neutral. It's right where we need to be. Leave it alone. 4 tires there. The 7, Justin Allgaier, taking off pretty free as they ran. Still can't turn down the hill like they wanted to. The 18 of Henrik is in as well. You guys noted he just hasn't made up a whole lot of ground.
We talked about the importance of track position. With that, pit stops are huge. First off the pit lane, the 20 of Harrison Burton.
A tough stop there for the 9. He looks like he lost a couple of spots, and it's going to be tough to come back from. Only going to be, you know, maybe 16 laps to go or so here.
Last I saw, our stripe count was at 21, I think, if I remember right. So let's go back and relive some of those moments for drivers. And I think some of these bleed over into this is a wall hit, not a stripe. You guys give me your analysis.
That's a stripe. A stripe. That's a hit. That's a hit. That's a hit. It's a couple hits.
Again, unofficially, the strike count is at 21. And how about this? Some bad news. Ty Gibbs too fast on pit road. Second time today they have been penalized, but he's had a fast race car. And if you go back to Atlanta, 54 being driven by Martin Truex Jr., speeding penalty, and he came back to finish second. We'll see if the young driver in the 54 can rally here today. Tomorrow, it's all about the throwback on FS1. NASCAR Cup Series doing business from Darlington Raceway in the Goodyear 400. Our coverage begins with race day, 2 Eastern time on FS1, and then the green flag at 3:30 Eastern time. It's all on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Mike Joy, Clint Boyer, and 7-time Darlington winner Jeff Gordon will have the call. And now we listen into Ty Gibbs' radio after the pit stop.
Feeding, same section again.
Are you kidding me? I don't even know how I can go over. I was literally under the whole time.
It's got to be frustrating. And you know, to put in perspective what this guy's done, 3 races this year, all resulting in top 5 finishes. Of course, he won on the road course at Daytona. Beyond that, though, what's really impressive is before this year, he had never done a live pit stop. So he's been learning that on the fly with no practice. And because we're changing the driver in this car each and every week, he typically doesn't have a very good starting position. Across the board, what he's done has been truly remarkable, and he's going to have some adversities to overcome here late in the race at Darlington. The impact of the pandemic on youth sports has been significant, and while recovery has started in some communities, kids most in need are still on the sidelines. Visit goodsports.org to learn how you can help Fox Sports and Good Sports restore play for at-risk youth and the programs that serve them through donations of brand new sports equipment. Well, looking at the top 5, top 10 here, what do you guys think? You got Harrison Burton up there. Josh Berry's been good late. We know about Noah Gragson. Allgaier's been strong today. So is Allmendinger. Brandon Jones won this race in the fall. Daniel Henrik has led laps. Cendrick back in the top 10. Who you watching here?
I still got my money on Henrik. Just got to pull it out here. I'm not giving up that, but man, this is going to be an exciting finish. No way around it. Darlington here, late in the run. Your mental game is wore out. Tires are fresh tires here, so it's a balancing act. You know, who's going to get it? Who's going to put it on the edge and put it all out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think you still got to watch the 9, right? I think he's still probably the guy to beat here, even though back there in 4th now, he's still got one of the best cars out there, with especially with the 54 kind of out of the picture here.
You always have to watch the 9, okay?
And he will leave it all on the table. I promise you that. Harrison Burton, the control car here. He goes outside and will start alongside Josh Berry. 3 of the top 4 from Junior Motorsports. 16 to go at Darlington.
Not a good start for the 20 there.
Outstanding job by Josh Berry, jumping to the lead in the 8, and he brings his teammate Justin Allgaier with him.
Yeah, Josh did a really nice job there on that start. Just getting the power down nice and smooth and not making a mistake. And you know, now Josh has just got to go in defense a little bit. It's the first time he's been out front. He's got to feel his car out, see what it's going to do here in front of everybody. And we got a big wreck.
8th caution of the day. This time it's Joe Graff Jr.
Was the 52 involved?
I think he had retired for the day, but that's the first thing I thought of. In fact, that might have been his motivation to stay in the car a while ago when the window net stayed up so long.
Yeah, Joe's had a tough day so far.
He has.
I will say, though, I love the paint scheme. The Back to the Future throwback and the whole DeLorean bit from the movie. That's really cool. Let's look at the restart because it was under review by NASCAR.
Well, the 20 definitely spun his tires.
For sure. And then Gragson had him jacked up, too, so.
And the rule does read, the leader does not have to be the first to the start-finish line on a restart. To start the race, they do. But on a restart, once the leader goes in the restart zone, all bets are off. And as you guys said, he spun his tires there, did Harrison Burton, and that opened the door for the 8. Here's some 20 audio.
9 car just hit me way before the zone and just had my rears off the ground the whole time.
Yeah, I know. It was like that last night.
Hey, and welcome back to the track, Kim Burton, Harrison's mom, who is always emotional and animated. I love her energy.
We got the Chris Rice cam. Now we need the Kim cam back. Be good.
And you want the other end of the spectrum on that? Harrison's cousin Jeb, his dad Ward is here today. I mean, he will show no emotion on the pit box, right? Appreciate Jeb carrying our Nutrient Ag Solutions onboard camera today. One at Talladega, rain-shortened event. So emotional for him in Victory Lane, and saw Ward talking about it on social media. He said things were very emotional at home as well when they got word that he had won the race.
Can only imagine. Jeb, we've raced against each other since the truck stuff, and knowing how much heart and passion he put into it, and to see the route that, you know, where his career went and how he was going about things, and just trying to stay, you know, persistent and just adamant on getting in the best ride and opportunity. And when this opportunity came about with Colleague Racing and seeing the announcement and seeing how much emotion he had just from being labeled as a driver and then to go on to win at Talladega, man, I was pumped for him.
When we return to the green flag, just over 10 laps to go, it's going to be Josh Berry leading. Regan?
Oh, I had a fun conversation as they were coming to the green for that last restart. Josh reminding his team, basically, I've only got a few of these races left. I'm going to be about as aggressive as I need to be right here. I don't care how mad these guys are at me because I won't be here in a couple more weeks. So I don't know what's going to happen on this next restart. Maybe a little difficult to get past Josh Berry in a minute, though.
Hey, that's the attitude you got to have.
Exactly.
Especially with limited opportunities. You know, Josh doesn't know how many races he's going to be running, and obviously wants to run more in the future. And the best thing that's going to help that plan is winning these races.
You know, the plan there, Miguel Paludo going to run some road courses. Sam Mayer will run the balance of the season late in 2021. And Dale Jr. announcing this week he'll run the 8 car at Richmond in the fall. We look forward to that.
another one of those fine deals because of the history and the tradition that is here at Darlington Raceway. When we run up against the outside road, there's so much history at this racetrack. What a story it would be if Josh Berry could be able to pull off the upset this afternoon and take that junior motorsports Chevrolet over the victory lap. It really is because Josh Berry is one of the crown jewels Darlington Raceway. Back in the day, they had 4 crown jewels. Daytona, you had the drivers are arriving at an extra $100,000 bonus. It's tightened up significantly in the last couple of laps. Noah Gregson has now followed the field, and right behind him, A.J. Allman in the fifth spot. Austin Cendrick and Jeff Burton also competing for the extra $100,000 this afternoon. You never saw drivers as they come by at the start-finish line here, fans want to remind you when we talked about the Cookout 7500 coming up in Labor Day, we're proud to announce too that Sport Clip has renewed their
Going to be a 10-lap shootout to finish things at Darlington for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So much on the line, including $100,000 for whoever finishes best among these 4 drivers. Up for the dash for cash, and the best of the bunch right now, Noah Gregson, who's going to restart inside the top 5. He's won the money the last 2 weeks, and I think just as much as the cash today, he wants his first win of the season. And if he gets it, he might have to beat his teammates. Berry and Allgaier going to restart on the front row. Josh Berry takes the outside lane.
Yeah, and he needs to do exactly what he did on the last restart. He obviously had a great one there, and just getting that clean air and set sail.
Berry was second on the last restart inside, was able to get the lead from Harrison Burton. This time he takes that outside lane. Here we go to finish it at the track too tough to tame.
Didn't Allgaier's spotter say don't take the bottom? And he took the bottom there.
And he's going to get him here and
make it work.
I mean, the inside lane has paid huge dividends today.
It has.
Could we get a crossover?
Yeah, Allgaier really had the perfect restart there to go ahead and clear him into 1. And first time he's been out front. Best that thing's probably been driving all day.
Don't write off Gregson. Here he comes inside of Harrison Burton for 3rd. We know how strong the 9 car has been. Brandon Jones back to the top 5. One here in the fall.
Yeah, and you notice Brandon's got a clean car. I don't know if he's even barely got a scrape on that right rear, but like we were talking about at the start of the day, just racing the racetrack, keeping your car clean, a lot of times can pay dividends at the end of the day here.
And if you go back to how he won this thing in September, right place, right time. Chastain and Hamlin going at it. They get into the wall. Jones takes over and able to win the race.
Take it how you can get it.
8 laps to go. Allgaier starting to put some separation between himself and second place Josh Berry, and teammates racing here. That's Jones and Henrik.
Yeah, Daniel's starting to make a little bit of ground here. I think pass for 5th.
Yep.
Only 8 laps left. I don't know that he can get back up there to the challenge for a win, but good to see him back up there in the top 5.
Good rebound for sure.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? We really hadn't talked about Allgaier a lot today. Just kind of quiet, laying in the weeds, inched his way to the front, pit crew doing their job, and here he is, top spot on a restart with 10 laps to go. and 6.5 laps away from his second victory of 2021.
Yeah, doing exactly what he needs to do right here is trying to build a little bit of a cushion, maybe save a little bit in case you have another restart here, but right now he's looking pretty good.
I'll tell you what, man, watching this in-car stuff and just being here today, I'm excited to get on track tomorrow. Coming from when I showed up this place for the first time and I was like, I don't know about this. And then finally we got a caution here in the 6 car.
That's Ryan Vargas in the 6. Will it bring out a caution? He's got that Mark Martin throwback that looks awesome. And there it is, number 9 when it comes to yellow flags. And this is going to push us right up against an overtime finish. And that's the last thing that Justin Allgaier wanted to see.
Yeah, I think Justin was probably in a pretty good spot there to kind of ride out these last few laps and come home with the win, but going to be tough for him now. He's going to have to earn it.
Vargas led laps for the first time in his career at Talladega and had to get away from him off of turn 2.
Oh, man.
Brandon Brown, who had popped the wall a couple of times earlier, able to get the free pass. He's 30th. So that'll put 30 cars on the lead lap for this late restart.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised here to see a couple guys farther back come take tires. I mean, I know we haven't ran a ton of laps, but
I mean, why not?
Yeah,
you're giving yourself an opportunity here. Free set of tires laying there in the pits, so come get them.
Oh, and
go try to put on a show.
Look at this.
Oh.
And I mean, you're not talking about way back. There's a lot of drivers that are giving up top 10, top 12 positions to come down and get some fresh ones, among them Harrison Burton, Regan.
Wow.
Adam, they came over the radio. They felt like a lot of cars would come right here. Crew Chief Jason Ratcliffe jumped off the wall. It made me turn my scanner to him. Sure enough, he made the call. Go ahead and pit and get 4 tires. This is their opportunity to win the race by doing this.
I go back to the end of stage 2, and we said they're pitting to roll around at the back because there's no way they can make up that ground. And what happened? Harrison Burton drove through and won the stage. They're hoping for more of the same here. What about the 11, Jamie?
Justin Haley decided to come in for some changes as well. Jeb Burton, that's a cool look at his pit stop as they jack up the left side. You see his view on the radio, though, for Justin Allgaier. As soon as they stayed out, all you hear is, oh boy, a lot more stayed out than we thought. Let's see if it works out.
Here's my curiosity for the drivers that stay out, and in particular, Justin Allgaier up front. What do you do for lane selection here? Because I feel like every time the leader takes the outside and then they lose the top spot to that inside lane, where do you guys feel like the best position is here?
That's a great question.
I don't know.
I think you have to take the bottom as much as we've seen it work, and especially if you're going to be the control car, you know you're going to get somewhat of a little bit better launch than the guy next to you. But you got to make sure you're going to be getting clear by at least the middle of 1 and 2, because if you're side by side in the exit of 2 and the guy's still next to you, he's going to pin you down, and you're not going to be able to get that exit how you want.
So basically, just pick whatever lane you want and execute. All about execution here.
But pick either one, but make sure you do it right.
Yes.
But let's go back to the beginning of the race when there was a pretty distinct message delivered to Allgaier. Eddie Nahant said, we're not going to take the inside lane. Am I remembering that right?
That's right. I had mentioned that the last restart. He took the lead, so I don't know here.
And it's taken long enough to clean this up, so we are officially going to finish this race in overtime. I feel like we've had so many of these this season for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Here's the layout, 2-lap shootout. And if the leader takes the white flag before we see the yellow, the next flag ends the race, whether it's the caution or he gets back to the checkers. However, if the caution flag comes out before the leader gets the white, we'll reset things and do it all over again, and we have unlimited attempts.
Man, I think it's just a tough challenge for the 20 to 16 to 22. You know, all the guys who pitted there, you know, with it just being a checkered, coming back up to the field, it's tough.
Yeah, I don't think it just quite worked out how they were hoping.
Yeah.
I think they were looking for a break point, and they were going to be hoping that they were the ones that led the rest of the field down. And unfortunately, just too many cars on the lead lap and lost too many spots.
Here's who I want to watch is Noah Gragson, because right now he is absolutely in the catbird seat to win the Dash for Cash. He is third. Next in line for the money is Allmendinger, who is shown back in 19th. And how aggressive will he be? And we are now choosing lanes, and Allgaier goes outside, Barry goes inside, and you see the rest of them fanning out.
Here we go.
Well, maybe part of that call, too, was knowing that he was going to have the 9 behind him. You know, he wanted to get his teammate behind him there and get a good push and hope he gets clear.
Hey, Harrison Burton, when he won that second stage, restarted 10th, came through to win it in a few laps. He's outside the top 15 here, so it's going to be tough, and he might need another caution if he's going to make his way to the front and get the good off of those tires.
Well, there's only so many lanes here at Darlington, and that's the problem. You get through 1 and 2. It's pretty hard to make it 3 wide and make a lot of ground, even if you do have new tires.
Allgaier, Barry, Gragson, Henrik, who has never won a race. Brandon Jones is up there. Ryan Sieg, who is winless in his career. Michael Annett, Moffitt, Jeremy Clements, the South Carolina driver, in the top 10, and Landon Castle. Overtime number 1, brought to you by Credit One Bank. Green flag at Darlington.
The 8 car got the jump here.
As long as the 7 can stay next to him here, he's going to be in a good spot.
Oh,
side by side off of turn 2, and Allgaier drives it in there and gets the lead.
Yeah, Josh really did the best he could there. He didn't have much air on his car and was just trying to hold on. But look at the 19 here.
19 trying to make some ground up.
Brandon Jones inside of Barry for second. White flag is out, and the next flag going to end the race. Justin Allgaier looking for his first win at Darlington.
Yeah, Josh is going to just have to be closer than that to try to make a move on him here.
8 races so far this year, 7 different winners. The only driver to win twice is Austin Cendrick. Justin Allgaier trying to add his name to the list. Here comes Allgaier off the turn 4.
Yes, sir.
Justin Allgaier is the man at Darlington.
Boys, you realize we just checked off 2 boxes? We just won at Darlington and Atlanta. Heck yes! That is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Sounds like they got some couple more boxes to check off there.
I think he has a few, it sounds like.
Great job by the 7 team all day.
Teammate Josh Berry was second. Brandon Jones is third. And give a nod to Noah Gragson, who is now batting 1,000 in 2021 when it comes to winning the $100,000 bonus in the Dash for Cash.
Oh, look at the 22 here on front stretch. Destroyed.
Wow.
I wonder what happened there.
He's really tore up. Yeah, but excuse me, Justin did a great job at the end there. Just getting up front, you know, didn't seem like he quite had the car he needed earlier in the day, but got out front, clean air, did what he needed to do on that restart, and brought it home.
That's right. Goes back to execution, what I talked about. You know, I thought the 8 car had the jump on him, and he definitely tried to stick his nose in there. Almost had some more contact than they wanted, but it ended up working out for him.
You think Dale was sweating?
Oh, for sure.
Looked like they were. There's a few games coming to the restart zone down there in 3 and 4 as well.
Aren't there always games when we're in the cars?
There are always.
Allgaier, the all-time wins leader at Junior Motorsports. And it's fitting, I guess, that JRM ends the day in victory lane, because our afternoon began with the old 8, the Nova, with Dale Jr. behind the wheel, playing homage to his father, pacing the field, and it's one of his cars that goes out and wins the race. And here's how Allgaier got it done in overtime.
Oh, you see the 8 get really loose there. He gave it all he had. You know, that's big.
Can't get any tighter than that.
No. You can with contact.
Yeah.
And we wondered, why was Austin Cendrick's car trashed? Coming to the start-finish line, we're going to see it here.
Oh, no. Oh, that's 2 hard hits.
Wow.
That was a hard hit there. Off 2, one of the worst places to hit.
And I did look down. Cendrick has climbed from the car, and he'll go to the care center, but appears that he's okay there, so we are thankful for that. And the celebration is on for Justin Allgaier's 2nd win of the year, Jamie.
What a celebration for Justin Allgaier. Burned it down and got out so quick. Justin, your car never was quite perfect, especially turning down the hill. How did you compensate for that and bring it home here victorious?
Well, first of all, y'all are awesome. Fans being back in the grandstands, this is special. Y'all don't realize how much energy you feed into what we do. I'll be honest with you, there's a guy right over here with a navy blue shirt, and he gave me the middle finger with both hands on that last caution, and gave me a lot of motivation to win that one. But you know, I gotta say, my wife, my daughter are back at home watching. I'm so bummed they're not here. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, especially my wife, my mom. Our Good Humor Ice Cream Camaro wasn't as good, like you said, as what we wanted it to be all day, and the guys down in the pits, they just kept fighting. And I think the end of the race proved it, to have all those Junior Motorsports Chevys up there battling for a win. It really was special. I know Josh and Noah both would have wanted that one right there, but to check off Atlanta and Darlington, I couldn't be more appreciative of this race team. So hats off to everybody on this team at Junior Motorsports, the Henrik Engine Department, Chevrolet for all they do, Brand Professional Agriculture, all of our Unilever brands. We obviously had Good Humor on the car, but all of our Unilever brands. Just everybody that's a part of this. We're going to celebrate this one for a while.
Justin, it's Darlington, so it's special. But how about the Dale Earnhardt paint scheme? The field was paced by Dale Earnhardt Jr., your boss. How cool was that?
It was awesome. This paint scheme has been so special to us. Ryan Williams back at our shop, that's a graphic designer, deserves a big round of applause. He put a lot of heart and soul into these throwbacks. I hope y'all fans enjoyed the throwbacks. It's a big deal to us as much as it is to you guys. I got a fire suit that looks like Ice Cream Delivery Man. I got a helmet that's actually a throwback to Dale Jr., so we did a lot of throwing back this week, and man, is it special.
I love the bow tie.
Bow tie's good.
Well done. Justin Allgaier wins for the 2nd time in 2021.